The Living Voice is a podcast exploring what shapes our voice and how our voice shapes the world. I'm your host, Yilei Lau. I'm joined by guests from diverse backgrounds as we explore voice as more than communication. We'll look at how our voice is shaped by our physical well-being, our inherited stories, the cultures and environments we move within, and the ways each of us are uniquely wired. Together, we inquire into what becomes possible when we meet our voice with kindness, awareness, and curiosity. My journey with voice didn't really begin until my early 30s, and even then I didn't realize that's what it was. Growing up, I was actually really shy, not very confident speaking up, not comfortable sharing my opinions, often holding things back and remaining quiet. I'd rather the floor swallow me whole. One of my greatest fears was not being able to articulate things correctly. I would stumble and fumble over my words. I would worry that I wasn't being understood and that what I was trying to say didn't quite land. My speech felt fragmented, and in many ways I later realized I felt fragmented too. It wasn't until I stepped into energy healing work that I began to experience voice in a completely different way. At first, it was small explorations into energy centers and vocal toning and things I actually resisted. And yet something in me felt relieved, so I followed that curiosity. Along the way, I've been guided by many teachers, trainers, facilitators, each one offering a different doorway into a new possibility for me and my voice. It's been a long journey. From the more familiar spaces like singing and choirs and presentation skills I used to have at work, to the more weird and wonderful things, so sound healing, chanting, and energetic practices, to the more deeper explorations of voice stories, exploring voice stories through ancestral work, and even the more subtle unseen realms of communications like telepathy and channeling. And at some point I realized this wasn't random. My exploration, voice, expression, being heard, this has been one of my core themes in my life. Something I later saw in my own blueprint, in my astrology chart, a pattern around finding and trusting and claiming my voice. So in many ways, this has been a path of healing, a path of reclaiming, bringing fragmented parts of myself back into wholeness. I've explored voice through the body, through breath, through fascia, the nervous system, and through self-awareness practices, looking at my beliefs, patterns, and the stories that shape how we express. There's been a lot of learning and a lot of unlearning and a lot of meeting the edges of my comfort zone and being seen and being heard, and actually allowing myself to have a point of view. And through all of this, my voice has changed. I've changed. I've come a long way, I feel, from being that shy, quiet, obedient child to someone who now holds space for others to connect with their voice. My voice has become more grounded, more embodied, and still always evolving. Because for me, this isn't something that's ever done. I still find the places where I hesitate, where I hold back, crack and squeak, and where something wants to move but hasn't fully found its way yet. And I think for me, that's part of the beauty of it. Voice for me isn't just something we need to perfect. It's something we're in relationship with. So this podcast really is an exploration of all of that, because your voice isn't just something you use. It's something that I feel lives. It carries your experiences, your history, your truth, and your dreams. And when you begin to meet it as something living, rather than something to fix or control, everything about how you express changes.